Great. So now it is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you my friend and the 45th President of the United States, President Donald Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Well, thank you to Vice President Pence. Thank you, Mike. And hello, Pennsylvania. Hello. It's great to be back in this state. It gave us the Liberty Bell, Pennsylvania Steel, Hershey chocolate. I like Hershey chocolate. The Nittany Lions. You know, the Nittany Lions. They're doing pretty well, too. And the incredible American patriots, just like you. You are patriots. Thank you very much. Thank you. Under Republican leadership, America is stronger than ever before, and we are respected again. Last month, you saw it. We smashed expectations with another 266,000 jobs, and unemployment is now more than a 50-year low. We have never seen what's going on with different groups. Unemployment is at a position we've never had anything like this. You're so lucky I became your president. Normally, I'm only kidding. I have to say I'm kidding, because the fake news back there will take that. They'll take that statement and they'll blow it up. And they'll say he said they were lucky to have him as president. What a horrible thing to say, because they're fake. Anyway, here in Pennsylvania, you had the single best year that you've ever had in the history of our country. Not bad. The Pennsylvania unemployment rate has reached an all-time record low. And I hate to tell you this, you know, when I was campaigning 3.5 years ago, I'd come here. You weren't doing so well, folks, right? You weren't doing so well. Wages were way down. Unemployment was way up. It wasn't a pretty picture. Just a few months ago, I visited the new Shell petrochemical plant in Beaver County at $6 billion with a B, $6 billion. It is the largest investment in Pennsylvania history. We're ending decades of failed trade policies that devastated communities all across the state. For generations, American manufacturing was the bedrock of your economy, the bedrock. Remember last administration, you'd need a magic wand, it'll never come back. You'd need we found the magic wand, didn't we? Then came NAFTA, the NAFTA disaster, I call it, one of the worst trade deals in the history of any country, and the loss of 1 in 3 Pennsylvania manufacturing jobs. Your politicians always pledged to fix it. They talk about it for years and years and decades, but they never were able to do it. They came and they went to Washington and they did nothing. But unlike those politicians, I keep my promises. And I love Pennsylvania. You know, I went to school in Pennsylvania. You know that, right? I know it well. And I'm thrilled to report that we are on the verge of ending the NAFTA catastrophe once and for all. Congress will soon vote on my new trade deal, the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA. After years of waiting, many, many years, many, many decades, they've been looking for this. And then we got it done, and we've been waiting for a long time for Nancy Pelosi to announce USMCA. And she did it on the same day that they announced that they are going to impeach the 45th President of the United States, and your favorite president, I think. And the reason they announced it on the same day, 1 hour later, they announced impeachment. A few guys standing behind her. They announced impeachment. And then an hour later, she announced that she's going to do USMCA. You know why? It's a huge deal. And it plays down the impeachment because they're embarrassed by the impeachment. And our poll numbers have gone through the roof because of her stupid impeachment. And think of it this way also. The silver lining of impeachment and this witch hunt, that's the reason they approved USMCA, so that's okay with me, because they approved it and they're very happy to have it, but honestly on it. All right. The legislation will also officially establish something that's so important to me because it's where it's at.
Russia witch hunt, right? And the Inspector General's shocking report proved that the Obama FBI obtained secret warrants to spy on my campaign based on a phony foreign dossier of debunked smears paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton and the deals.
Process of impeachment. And it was. You know, to me, impeachment is a very ugly word. It's a word I associate with some very bad times in our country. The good news is we're having the best times in history in our country. Okay? But the word impeachment to me is a very, very ugly word. It's a dark, ugly word. But I have to tell you, as bad as it is, it meant something. When you had serious high crimes and misdemeanors, when you had serious crimes, it's impeachment. That would happen every 50 years, every 40 years, every 100 years. This was a big deal. They're making it so like, let's do it every 6 months. They've cheapened the process. They've cheapened the process. These people are so bad, the radical left Democrats. And I actually think that Pelosi, who, by the way, she has totally lost control. She has totally, it's being run now by this crazy AOC +3. AOC +3. Now it's being run by other people. The far left has just grabbed that party. It is so sad to see. I didn't, because I didn't figure the polls would go through the roof. They went out today in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in a place called Pennsylvania. No. The polls are through the roof. They're called swing states, very important states. We won Pennsylvania the last time, and we're going to win it again, but even bigger. Our polls have gone over the last. We're not going to win the election. This is what we're dealing with. You know, we're dealing with some very bad people. We're dealing with people that don't respect you. You know who are the elite? You look at those jobs reports where the best in history unemployment for African Americans, best in history unemployment Hispanic Americans, best in history unemployment Asian Americans. You're the elite. You're the elite. But they said they'll do it again because this has been a total bust. They'll do it again. And by the way, the Senate's been so professional, so good, so strong, so solid, just like these gentlemen in the House, so solid. So we have to vote these crazy people the hell out of office, and in 2020, I'm going to work like hell that we take over the House. We have to take over the House. We have to. Right? Got to take over the House, Mike. So here are the facts that Shifty Schiff. Is that guy the worst? He comes up to a microphone. No, he comes up to a microphone like 2.5 years ago. I have absolute proof that the President of the United States conspired with Russia. Russia? What the hell do I have to do with Russia? By the way, Russia wishes that Hillary Clinton won. They wish. We are now #1 in the world in energy. Russia's #3. We're beating now Russia and Saudi. I want to watch the election results. Darling, there's no wind. The damn wind just isn't blowing like it used to because of global warming, I think. I think it's global warming. Global warming. No more wind, no more life. The ocean is going to rise 1/8 of an inch within the next 250 years. We're going to be wiped out. Look, I want clean air. I want clean water, crystal clean. And that's what we have at a record level. Our air and our water are cleaner now than it's ever been, okay, with all that we're doing. And we haven't closed up all of our industry, and we haven't closed up our businesses and lost all those jobs. And right now, we're by far the largest economy in the world. And if you remember, you could look. If you go back 5, 6, 7 years, in 2019, they say China was going to catch us as the world's largest economy. Guess what? They're way behind. They're way behind. Because over the last 3 years, you see the stock market set 131 records from the day. Think of that. And that means jobs, that means 401ks. I have so many people that come up to me, thank you, sir. My wife is so in love with me because I went up 79% in the 401k. She thinks I'm a genius. She always thought I was a total stiff, a dumb, stupid dope. Now she thinks I'm a financial genius, sir. And all I did was buy some stock. I have stock in a 401k. And you made me into a genius, sir. She loves me so much more than she ever did. Shows you the power of money, right? Isn't that terrible? But I have so many people. 401ks are through the roof. Your jobs are through the roof. We have the lowest unemployment rate. And now, more importantly than anything, wages are up for the first time in many, many years, decades. Decades. You remember 4 years ago, I was here, and I told people, I said, you know, 20 years ago, people made more money than they made 4 years ago. Not now, not anymore, because people now can not only make a lot more money, if they don't like their job, they go out and they get a different job, and they get more money, and ultimately they find one that they love. You have so many opportunities right now. Wages are up, jobs are up, and today we set a new record. Almost 160 million people are working. We've never come close to that number. That's a hell of a number. But just quickly, here are the facts on Shifty Schiff. This honest guy makes up my statements. He said, the president of Ukraine repeatedly declared that there was no pressure, but he didn't want to say that. We said, say it. Say it. We said, say it. I'd like to force him to say it. He'll walk up to the mic. Ladies and gentlemen. Guy's a total corrupt guy. Listen, just to finish off, a man who I don't know him, but I respect him because the Ukrainian foreign minister, and he said it so strongly, I have never seen a direct link between investigations and security assistance. He just said that. The Democrats, who are corrupt, refuse to say that. And that's ultimately the only one that matters, the leaders of Ukraine, because they're the ones that know if there's pressure, not some crooked ambassador that's a deep stater, or that's a Bushy, or that's a Clintonite, or that's a Barack Obama ambassador, okay? The ones that matter are the leadership of the country that we're talking about. They refuse to say it because they're dishonest people. There's only one way to stop the rabid partisan Democrats. Pennsylvania voters must show up in 2020 so we can take back the House, hold the Senate, and keep the White House. It's the only way. Only way. Okay. So I'm going to ask these people to come up on the stage because we have warriors with us tonight. We love warriors. Like the guys that killed al-Baghdadi. You know how much press? You know how much press I got? I don't care about press. But Conan the dog got more than I did, and that's okay. Conan was almost electrocuted. He deserves it. They gave me about a day, and that's okay. Wisconsin, then I'm saying, you know, like, what the hell is going on? These crowds are incredible. And we had the biggest crowds. By the way, to this day, there has never been, and they'll always correct me, in the history of politics, in the history of our country, there has never been anybody that drew crowds like we draw. And I don't have a guitar. I have no guitar. But this has never happened. I mean, if you took Ronald Reagan, and we all like Ronald Reagan. I liked him. I thought he was a great guy. But if he came to Pennsylvania for a rally, you know, if he had 1,000 people in a ballroom or something, you know, I mean, we're getting crowds, 25, 30,000 people, and then there'll be 20,000 people outside. You know, we set up screens outside, and if anybody would like to stand in the rain watching, and to you people out there, I'm sorry. It's pretty rough. But no, there's never been anything like it. One instruction, get me the biggest arena you can get. We don't have empty seats. I mean, look at this. How many seats is this? 11,000? How much? 10,500, it's packed. It's beyond that. And don't forget, look at the floor. And then you go out. No, and then you go out and you look outside and you have thousands and thousands because there's a spirit for what we're doing. We're fixing our country again. So I want to ask a couple of our great warriors to come. Wonderful man who represents this area, Scott Perry. Representative Lloyd Smucker. Lloyd. A guy who's always there for us, John Joyce. And two people that you all know very well in this state, they bring home the bacon, Dan Muser and Fred Keller. Thank you, Keller. Thank you. I want to also bring back our Pennsylvania party chairman, and I know his grandfather. I shouldn't say that to you. He was a tremendous man, Dan Tabus. But I'm going to introduce somebody that Dan always said had tremendous talent. Little did I know that he'd be working with us, and he's really working well. He's smart. He's tough. Lawrence Tabus. Come on up, Lawrence. Also with us tonight, Pennsylvania Trump Victory Chairwoman, Bernie. You know this, right? You know this person. Comfort, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Everybody knows who that is. National Committeeman Bob Asher, RNC Co-Chairman Tommy Hicks, who's been incredible, and my friend David Urban. David. So I just want to thank, this is an amazing group of people, and with their help and the help of everyone here, we are going to set records like we've never set before. You know, I used to say, and I sort of still have to say, 2016, I don't know if anything like that can ever happen. But I think we're much better. You know, all of the things I said, we're going to cut taxes, we're going to cut regulations, we're going to take care of our vets. Look what we did for our vets with choice, right? Look what we did. Look what we did. We now have the ability to fire all of the bad people that are in the VA, right? Fired over 8,000 people that were disrespecting our vets. They wouldn't have done it in prime time, I can tell you that. But what we've done for our vets, what we've done in rebuilding our military, what we've done in so many ways, and we, unlike the Democrats, will protect your Second Amendment, okay? Very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, folks. Vote for these people. Even if you don't like them, vote for them. Oh, that's a beautiful new hat. Look at the hat that guy's got on. How's that hat working out? Is that hat good? I love that hat. Look at this guy that says, "Keep America Great." Should we do the poll? Should we do a poll? Okay, ready? So we have the greatest phrase in the history of politics, "Make America Great Again." And we wait, and we have our new phrase, because we've made America great. I told you, stock market, we've rebuilt our military, we've cut your taxes like at a level that nobody could even think possible. You look at your median, take a look at your median income, take a look at what's happened, the numbers, median household income, take a look at your numbers. With President Bush, it went up $400 in 8 years. With President Obama, it went up $975 in 8 years. With President Trump, it went up $5,000, but, whoa. It's a big difference. And that's one of the very big reasons why I think that and regulations, but that's one of the very big reasons why our economy is doing so, because they talk about our consumer is loaded with money. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I appreciate it. But with the help of everyone here, we have now the hottest economy. You know, when I meet dictators and presidents and kings and queens and prime ministers, they all come into that beautiful Oval Office. So beautiful, right? So respected. And the first thing they almost always say, "Sir, congratulations on your economy. We're trying to do the same thing." I said, "You won't be able to do it." You won't. No, they won't be able to. Let them give it a shot. But they all say, congratulations on the great job you've done with the economy. But we've all done the great job. Not me. We've all done. I've been your spokesman, and I've done a good job as spokesman. But they all say that. But we've done a good job in many ways. You know, all of the promises that I made, I'm the only politician in history that I've actually the hell out of our country, right? Democrats, sanctuary cities also give safe haven to those who commit violent sex crimes. Since Montgomery County, Maryland declared itself a sanctuary jurisdiction in July, we have already identified 9 illegal aliens who have been arrested for rape, sexual assault, including a 26-year-old man charged with raping and viciously strangling a young, wonderful woman who was entering her apartment, innocently entering her apartment. Our country. And they advertise, we will take you, we will take care of you, we will pay for it. And then you wonder why we have so many people trying to come through at the borders. But we do a great job. We're removing these criminal, illegal aliens from our country by the thousands. We're sending them home. And we're not letting them come back in. We're being very tough. And Mexico is now giving us 27,000 soldiers at our border. And Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, we signed a very important agreement with each. When their people come into our country, they weren't taking them back. Now they take them back and they say, thank you very much. They weren't taking them back. If we had a murderer from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, but I'm not going too far with any of these people, because I thought, you know, I was way too early with Elizabeth Warren. We destroyed her too fast. So she came back, but she's going back down again. Did anybody see her beer deal where she said, oh, darling, you ever see that deal? Darling, it's about her husband. Darling, it's great to see you. What are you doing here? Choose the doctor, and you can choose your plan, and you choose the plan that's right for you. We will strongly protect patients with pre-existing conditions. We will also protect your right to get the physician that you want. Virtually, they execute the baby. Okay? He's the governor of Virginia, and why the Republicans aren't going to win Virginia this next election, 2020, I'll tell you what, we're going to give it a very strong shot. When you have people like that, we're going to give it a very strong shot. But that's why I've asked Congress to prohibit extreme late-term abortion. I told you about judges. I'm telling you about so many other things. There's nobody that's ever done what we're doing. You look at school choice for every child. Immigration. We will enact trade deals that result in more products, proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. We just finished a deal with South Korea, great new trade deal. We just finished a $40 billion deal with Japan. We're in the process of getting our deal done. Let's see what happens. They want to make it more than I do because we're taking in a lot of money. We haven't taken in money from China ever, and it's coming in now by the billions. And when they target our farmer, I give our farmers that money that they've been targeted, and our farmers are thrilled. And we have a lot left over. But we will achieve new breakthroughs in science and medicine, finding new cures for childhood cancer, and ending the AIDS epidemic in America. We'll have that done within 10 years. And it could have started, that could have started earlier than the beginning of our administration. We'll have that done in less than 10 years. Think of that. The AIDS epidemic, we'll have it ended in America within less than 10 years. We will defend privacy, free speech, religious liberty, and the right to. And proud citizens like you help build this country. And together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. America proud again. We will make America safe again, and we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
A glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. But if you try sometime